Anybody have declared conflict of interest on the agenda? Hearing none. Any addition to the agenda? I have two. One is called the workshop for council, and the other is an update for information on the account for the senior T. Anyone else, anything more? Okay, I'll be moving or second that we accept the agenda with two additions. All those in favor? Carried. And we have no deputations today. So then we have the minutes of public meeting on page 10 to 13, and the errors or omissions. Hearing none, any discussions? Yes, Councilor Peacock?
Thank you. I wanted to thank administration for adding the local events option to the calendar, so people have an opportunity to submit to the municipal office. And on item H on page 23, I was wondering if that was going to come back, because that's with regard to the mandatory water safety that Dryden had asked us to support their resolution, and I mentioned it at that time.
You say page 23?
I'm sorry,
Or
page
just-
10, I guess.
Okay, that's better.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay.
So,
Confused.
Explain that again, can you, Council?
We're in public meeting, right, aren't we?
We're into the public meeting.
public meeting. I apologize.
That's why.
Okay, we'll try again. Sorry.
Okay. All right, no discussion on the public meeting. All those in
Sorry.
favor? There. Now we'll move on to the council meeting agenda. Any errors or omissions in this? And that is from page 14 to 28. There are no errors or omissions. Any discussions? Now, Council Peacock.
Thank you. I apologize for that earlier. So with regard to the mandatory water safety and swim to survive training,
And
page
you're on
23 of our agenda,
Okay,
I had asked if we could support that resolution. I don't know if it comes back at a later date, or does it come back?
It would have, but there was no specific request at that time. It was brought forward, but there was no request to bring a resolution to the next meeting. If
Okay.
you wish that, you can suggest that now, then I suppose they.
I guess I has to be supported though, so.
okay, what's your wish, Council?
Dryden resolution you're talking about?
To have swimming safety training in the elementary school program.
Or their right.
Mhm.
Yes, but at the council, though, I don't think we supported that through a resolution.
Mhm.
I just have a question. It's a noble effort, cause,
Mhm.
but how would a municipality or a school in a place without an indoor swimming pool do that?
I just had a concern that it could possibly happen at the provincial park at Kakabaka with the public swimming there. I mean, it's just a suggestion. If it's not,
Where do you want to go with that, Council? You've heard the request from Councilor Peacock. You want to support that through a resolution, or do we take it as information?
I'm good to support it.
Okay,
All we're doing is supporting what they're putting forward. Like each municipality, whether they have a swimming pool or not, it doesn't really matter, because a lot of people, they'll bust them to swimming lessons or whatever. If it's just an idea. I know they've had some tragedy there in the last
Okay.
while, so
Mm.
I just think they're reaching out for some.
okay, so we'll bring it back for the next meeting at support, okay?
Okay. There's so many people that have swimming pools as well that, whether it
Okay.
be, anyways,
We'll look after and bring it back at the next meeting as a resolution.
appreciate that. Thank you.
And
Just the thanks to the administration for adding the link to the website so people can submit their local events.
okay, any other concerns? All right, call the question. All those in favor accept the minutes with the amendment. Approved. All right, the next is MTO, widening of the 4 lanes, and the information and discussion. I think it was put out here with Mr. Hanchard, so we'll turn it over to you.
So as the report says, we had a meeting with the MTO persons on October 17th. It's got to do with the widening and rerouting of Highway 1117 from the expressway to Kekapeka Falls. And on page 30 of the report, there's the key information we gathered from talking with them. This was a confidential meeting, but some of the information was releasable according to the MTO, so that's what we have here. The key part that they did say, and they're telling people, the plan to go from the rerouted 1117 to the other side of the river, to get across the river, they're still sticking with the route that they chose many years back, right through our 14, which is besides the Spence landfill, and then proceeds northwest across the river. What they said was they were going to be coming to council the spring of 2026 to do a presentation about it. In the meantime, what they're doing is their studies and measurements and other things to flesh out the proposal. And that's where it is. They've got a website that has information about the project, and it's included in the council package here, what they do tell people on their website. And that's about the gist of what we heard.
Okay, any questions? Hearing none, go ahead, Councilor Seagull.
So the plan still is then with MTO to have still the route that's gonna go up and through Murillo by Spence Road North and across the river eventually?
Through the chair, there is no preferred route selected as yet. They are studying the 50-year-old plan as well as any new routes that they may establish through the public information that went out to get onto people's properties. So there is no official route established at this time.
Thank you, Chris. Anyone else? Okay, I just have one if I could. If you look at that map on page 33, it is the most confusing as you see it. As you come up from 1117, you go up to our lot 14, then you dive back down and then you come back up. And I guess now that the Chris just told us, if they're looking at the original, that should go straight up north then, and it shouldn't dip down back down. Am I correct?
Yeah, through the chair, this alignment that the proposed public that went out a month or so ago, 6 weeks ago, combined with the studies that have been done for the last 50, 40 years, whatever it is, nothing is cast in stone as yet. However, this alignment here will allow an access into Kekapeka, to your point in regards to lot 14 down into Kekapeka. There is no way to bring traffic back into Kekapeka without the highway being done all in one shot. Again, this is probably a 15 to 20-year program to get what they need done. That alignment, this proposal is for section A and B, as Wayne alluded to in his report. The piece that comes down from lot 14 to your question, Councillor Viss, they can't bring truck traffic back down Oliver Road to get to the stop sign at the railway tracks. So they're proposing this alignment from lot 14 down into Kekapeka as part of phase 1 of the overall project. Will that turn into a service road 10 years out? Again, nothing is cast in stone at this time.
Thank you very much, Chris. Any further questions? Albert?
At the same token, though, the highway that's there now, 1117, they can still use that as an access.
Yeah, through the chair, exactly. Our discussions with MTO, are very high level at this time. We're putting pressure on them to do the right thing and get across the river, which seems to be the biggest hangup for access in and out of Kekabeka. If the phase 3 or 7 or whatever number it is was to get across the river, that getting done first would definitely get rid of the problem on lot 14, as Councillor Viss has mentioned. In the short term, MTO was very diligent in saying they have no timeline for the overall project and no timeline in their 5-year capital plan and no budget commitment from the provinces to do any of it. So again, we are very early on. And as Wayne has alluded to, MTO will be here this spring, and in the next 6-7 months, they're working on all these problems.
Thank you, Chris. Right, any further questions? All right, we'll move on to the Roma conference. Here are the requests that we're gonna deal with. Wayne, do you wanna explain anything further on there or anything at all? It's
No, I don't think so. On the resolution, you can see the key items that the administrative people identified. And council can add some things to this meeting. What the resolution says is that the people that are going to the event, adjust things, add things, delete some. And but the other two council members who are not attending, they can always contact the people going to have things added or deleted or what have you. But these are the things that seem to be on top of mind according to my thoughts.
Thanks, Wayne. Any questions? Just a question, Wayne, I have, if any of these, have we made appointments with the ministers yet to meet with them? Have we got them solidified?
What we're doing at this point is determining what we want to ask about, and then we need to submit the requests. I believe it's November 18th. Yeah, that's on page 37 there. We have to go to the ministry website and put our requests in with our topics.
Okay, thank you. All right, the next interesting CMO Depot Operation Agreement Change Order, that's the challenge. And
Did you call the
again,
question? Resolution, did you call the question on that resolution?
oh, I'm sorry, yes. All right, all those in favor of those projects that we're gonna put forward? Approved. Now we'll move on to the change order for the CMO Depot. And Mr. Hanchard, you're on board. Page 45.
As the report says, back in July, we got a change notice from them, approved that with a bylaw, and then subsequently talking with them, they said change order. So we ended up with this change order, which reflects what was in the change notice. So what we need to do is get rid of the old bylaw and put a new one in for this change order. There's nothing different in this change order than what we saw in the change notice in July. If you look on page 46, this is 3 one-year period extensions, take us to the end of 2028 to have CMO continue to take out the residential recyclables for us. Like we got a report earlier in, I think it was in July as well, it's in this report. The commercial, industrial, institutional, and agricultural streams are no longer going to be done under the depot agreement, and we need to come up with something ourselves. And the other parts of the change order will get $2,446 a month for operating the depot. That's for our landfill attendants, et cetera. And we also get 35 cents a household for the promotional materials. So we want council to approve this change order so we can continue to have CMO take care of the recyclables for another 3 years.
Thank you, Wayne. Any questions? Got
Thank you. I understand we're putting out new landfill cards for residents that have to pick up now in November and December. is there going to be an opportunity at that time to flag the people with commercial, industrial, institutional, and agricultural properties to let them know that they can't take the recyclables to the landfill site? Or is our attendant going to be monitoring the recyclable bins, or just wondering?
Through the chair, as we hand out the cards in the month of November, December, we're one list, one person type of thing for that 2-month period. We will be expressing that on the commercial industrial, but we have to have provisions in place as of January 1st. This is an extension of the residential card, which is 92% of our cards. This one gets blessed, and then we move forward with our negotiations with how we're going to approach the commercial and industrial recyclable collection. But
Okay.
yes, there will be public information at the time of the commercial cards going out.
Okay. Yes,
And one further question. It says that we have 2,369 households. Who updates that information annually to CMO? Because I think we're gonna have a lot more households.
CMO didn't indicate they're going to update it. You just put 2369 in there. It's an old figure and it's not changeable according to the language.
Okay, I just wondered how, on page 51 at the top, it says, yeah, to be updated to reflect the change orders under this agreement, but I didn't know if the number of households would be upgraded as well then on an annual basis, on top of page 51.
No, it isn't. On page 52, you see the number 2369 right there, and there's no formula to adjust that for growth or whatever. It's going to stay static for the 3 years.
any further questions? No? Okay, then we have been duly moved and seconded that we recommend change order. All those in favor of the change order? Passed. Museum board vacancies, 5354. We have a name, Catherine Guzislis. And what's your wish, council? Are you? All those in favor of moving her forward to put it on the board?
I'm on board, so I can.
Okay. All in favor? Okay, been moved in second, so we're approved. All right, and then we got the Keckabecca Curling Club, the advertising. And maybe Wayne, you can warn people where they're at. You and I have had some work with that.
Sure. In your report, you can see there's a resolution reproduced from November 2017. That's on page 56, where there was a plan to support the Keckabecca Curling Club with $1,000 for advertising. But after that, we never did get an invoice from them, and the thing kind of died. This July, there was a new treasurer, I think, at the curling club, and they sent us an invoice for $500. So we did pay that. We did say we were going to pay back when. And then they sent us another invoice for the 25-26 season for $500. So apparently there's a 4x8 wall sign there. And we do support recreation in our community. The Northwest, the Murillo Minor Athletic Association, et cetera. So administration is of the opinion that paying $500 to the curling club for this advertisement is reasonable.
Any questions? Councilor Peacock?
Thank you. So the first $500 that we sent them, was that like a partial payment, or is that a back payment, or?
No, that was for the 24-25 advertising.
Okay, but we didn't get that invoice previous to that, had we? Oh, okay.
Okay, if I just may help you along in that because I got involved in that a bit. It's very, very confusing. The resolution states that we give them $1,000 for advertising. Then when I dealt through them, they're supposed to have 2 4x8 signs, one on each wall. Well, I don't think council ever wanted to be so that we take over from everyone else by 4x8 signs. All we wanted was that 16 by little 24 sign in the corner, which we have today. So I went to their annual meeting, explained to them, I said, what are people paying for that 16 by 24 sign? $200. So do we pay the $200 for the sign, or do we stick by the resolution and say, and we just support the club $1,000 as the resolution states? We did get it down to $500 because there's no signs. I told them that. So how are you going to charge it if it says there's signs there? So it is so confusing. Council, it's your decision. Do you want to continue to pay the $500 or where are we at? Or the $1,000? That's the question. I'll leave it up to council. Tell us where you want to go with that.
Perhaps there was 2 signs, one said Oliver and one said Papoonj.
No, there was never a sign that never got that big.
Hmm.
So you wish to continue on with just paying the $500 and that's a little more than the average person signs. It is the municipality, and like Wayne said, we do support recreation, and so.
So, yeah, one concern, other than the fact that for some reason they emailed this invoice to me personally, not sure why, because I've had never any involvement with it personally. But this invoice does say for a 4 foot by 8 foot right-hand wall
Mhm.
sign. So I mean, we should clarify with them, just because the problem is we can say, okay, we'll pay it, which I'm in support of. But 5 years from now, a different group of people sitting around this table, we're gonna have the same, that group is gonna have the same conversation about why does it say 4 by 8 wall sign if it's not there, right? Like we should clarify with them what actually is there, what we're paying for, and get it straightened out. But I'm in support of
Yeah.
paying this invoice.
Okay, so then in other words, what we're saying, maybe the municipality should write a letter to the Quebec Current Club and straightening out the sign. We don't want a 4x8 sign. We were willing to keep the sign, which we have, and we'll donate $500 a year towards.
Send a picture. So
And
we
then to
know.
get that all clarified, and like Councilor Campbell said, the next council, at least they know we're getting it straightened out. All right? Okay, all those in favor of that? Passed, so. All right, health and safety manual. It says Judy Jacobson or Wayne Hanchard, and it's a handful. From 58 to 75. Who wants to take the lead on that?
I'll comment on it. According to the health and safety rules the province has, we're supposed to have our health and safety manual approved by council every year. So this is coming to council's attention last year, and it's come up again. So what we do, rather than give you all 500 pages of the health and safety manual, you get the table of contents. So you can see there that, there's almost 10 pages, I think, of table of contents. So we do have a lot of different policies on a lot of different topics. Just something we need to do. We're a large organization. There's a lot of different activities that we do, and we need to have the health and safety aspects of those activities covered off in our policies.
Any questions? I'll speak up.
Thank you. A lot of work went into the health and safety manual. I'm sure it's difficult to keep up with, but with regard to page 66, floor plans for the municipality, I note that the Heritage Park floor plans aren't included in there. Should they be?
We do inspections there, so yes, they should be.
Okay. And on page 71, it indicates Sharps management. Where do we have Sharps containers? And who empties them? Or is that just to be?
There are sharps containers on the rescue trucks
Mhm.
for the 6 rescue trucks for medical calls in case they come across them.
And then who empties those ones? Do you know? Or
I'd
do
have
they
to
need to
go
be?
through the EFR coordinator, but I believe the containers get brought back to SNEMS and they deal with them. I don't think we empty them at all. I think we just take the whole container to
Yeah.
SNEMS and they give us another container.
I just wasn't sure if there was one at the Norwest. No? And one further question. The museum or the Heritage Park, people have been advised that their staff, volunteers, and cannot use any of the hand tools that are at the park. So if something has to be done, they were told to contact the director of operations for his staff to come and do the requirements that they were looking for to use tools of any kind. So in that case, when you look at page 71, it says outdoor rinks, snow blowing. Then what happens with those volunteers that are looking after the outdoor rinks? Are they able to use the snow blowers, or do we have to go back to staff to look after the rinks on that?
Through the chair, first off, the two items as discussed aren't apples to apples. The reason that the volunteers were told not to use the hand tools was because they were using some tools and some apparatus that were definitely unsafe for the conditions. And we did have an injury in the workplace. That's when that memorandum came down. It's a liability issue. In regards to the snow blowers, yes, we have volunteers. Yes, they sign off on the volunteers using the snow blower. 99% of them, specific to Roslyn, sometimes drive their own snow blower across the street, don't even use ours. So yes, in regards to the snow blowers, they're all brand new and they do receive training before they roll out.
Any further questions? We do have staff, do we not, sit on this committee when you sit down with? Yes.
Yes, we have
Okay.
management staff and worker staff. Yeah.
Okay. Just to follow up on Chris's remarks, Donna, what happened when we had the senior people there and they got doing too much and there was stuff that they shouldn't be using there, which just wasn't. And so we have to do that for the health and safety of them, not so much the municipality. So Chris was perfectly right, and that's why that came into effect. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Nothing else then? We have a mover and a second that we recommend that the updated health and safety manual be approved. All those in favor? Carried. Right, boy, we're moving along good today. All right, report to committees for information, the library. Any discussion? District Social Services Administration's report. Any discussion? None? Bay District Health Unit. All right, moving on to the mayor's report. Use of Jake brakes and tobacco. What staff member can help us on with that? Because there'll be some legal ramifications on that because we're talking about being on the highway. Who can help us out? What suggestion we can get?
Yeah, the
It's bylaw.
Director of Operations and I were talking about the Jake breaks along with the bylaw enforcement officer. So the issue is, can we put a Jake brake bylaw on a provincial highway? And the other question is, how do you enforce it? Well, the first step is, can we do it? So we did reach out to MTO, but have not got a response from them yet.
So we'll have to wait and see then till we get a report back from them. So. Okay, so that'll come back to the next meeting. Hopefully we get some information from them at that time. Okay. All right, bylaws. We've already discussed the health safety manual. There's a motion to pass the bylaw. All those in favor of the motion? Carried. And the next one is circuit material. It's also been discussed. There's a motion that we accept that change order. All those in favor? Carried. All right. Petitions, annual senior Christmas party. We have an update of the financials. I was here. We all received a email and stating that the 1,300 wasn't quite correct, but if you look at this, it is correct. The numbers are here, and this is all we got left. So you see where we're at. We started off years ago with some $8,000, and for those that maybe were not as familiar with it, as maybe Calvin and I, because was his mother that started the original senior tea. And they got the idea from when they were on Manitoulin Island, and then got support from the hotel. They had a raffle, and they had to have somebody that was a volunteer organization donated to. They donated to 50%, and that's how we got to the $8,000. And then there was a lot of volunteers at the time. What changed COVID? You couldn't bring your sandwiches anymore. You couldn't do those things. You had to buy all that stuff, and you see how quickly the money is gone. So now here we are saddled. We don't have enough money to run it, and it's been advertised. So what's your wish? What would you like to do with that? Councilor Calvin?
I would like to see it continue supporting this. I think this is, this is inclusive of everyone. It's for the whole municipality. It's not just the,
Not everyone.
no, but the seniors. Okay. Hey, no, but I like all the seniors. It's
Yeah.
a seniors team.
Yeah.
It's just, so it's not like it's a specific group or anything. So it's,
No.
and people have done a lot of work and, undoubtedly, probably there should have been more money like set aside or put in as a continuing basis for it.
Okay.
As it went on, once the hotel closed and everything, that source of funding was gone. So undoubtedly, it was gonna dry up eventually, maybe just quicker because of COVID, like you say, so you had to purchase more you couldn't make. It's just the way it went.
Yes. Anyone else, Donna?
Thank you. I had asked Wayne about the, how much was in council initiatives. Perhaps that's an account that we could draw from. I agree. There are many people who look forward to making arrangements to come from town, from seniors' homes or whatever, to come back out and see their friends. We support, whether it be the Norwest Arena, for the skating, the Rural 60, all of these other organizations within our community. So even though they aren't organized as such, they're dedicated, and I agree, we should support it. And if it comes from council initiatives as an account, I don't have a problem with that.
No. Ernie?
Yeah, I'd also, I mean, even though I hope I won't be attending for a while.
It comes automatically.
I don't have a physique for Santa. So roughly, looking through this paper, roughly how much is the seniors tea costing per year right now?
Well, the last one was $1,300, so, and,
But that was a duplicate. Excuse me, but that was a duplicate payment, I think, because a 2024 or 23 expense was included. Mrs. Turecki had advised me that the Valley Foods payment that was there first was from the previous year. But the price of coffee has now doubled this year, so it's
So remind me again, I know it was mentioned at the beginning, but what was the original funding source for this?
No.
it was a fun, they were selling lottery tickets at the
Oh, okay.
hotel. And in order for the hotel to get a license to sell that,
They
they
had
had
to
to
have
find
a charity.
a charitable group
Yeah,
they donated 50% to, and that's how that all started. Now, when we started that, if I can tell you a little further, we were involved with the very first year when we started that after Artist Calvert brought this forth. We only had 20-some people. And at that time, it was by invitation, and it was only Oliver. And
Yeah.
so there was 3 of us that used to pick up the seniors and take them there and then bring it back home. And so when it snowballed is when Oliver and Papoons joined. Then it just snowballed, and we got, the hall was full. I don't know how many we got, 150, 100, whatever. So that's what's caused some of this expense. So
Yeah, and and the Papoons people come along and they were very grateful that,
Very
they were
grateful.
to join in with it.
Yeah.
The seniors.
No, I haven't, go ahead.
One further question. I know the Roslyn WI put on a Christmas dinner or luncheon as well. I'm wondering if that is by invitation only or how that is funded, because I realize we donate the hall to both of these events, but
You can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's through that Strawberry Social they have. That's how they were funded and it's by invitation.
okay,
You can
Yep.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's how that works.
I'm not sure.
So having said that, you want to support that, do you want to wish to set a set amount? Like if you're looking at 1,300, where do you want to go? Do you want to go 1,000? Do you want to go 1,200, 13? Where do you want to go? Then at least staff knows where we're at. And then people that run it know exactly this is what we've got. So what's your wish, Council? Go ahead. Lenny.
I'll move that we support it, let's support it to $2,000. Because it's, I mean, there's possibly gonna be increases. And I think, longer term though, there should be hopefully something a little more sustainable or that needs to be looked at as how the funding's done, right? Like certainly, and it's certainly nothing against Mrs. Tracky because she's volunteered doing all this work, but it's doing this at the last minute is kind of challenging for everybody. So, but it would be nice if there was some other way to fund this that's a little bit more sustainable, but I will move to fund it for this year for $2,000 if
Need a
needed.
seconder for that motion. Seconded by Dan.
Third.
Is the $2,000 inclusive of the $324 approximately left? So the new money's $1,600?
Yeah, yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, 2,000 in total. That should be adequate, I would think.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll just add that to this resolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Counselor Viss, perhaps we could suggest they put a donation box out just in case.
Yeah.
No, might help.
That to them. You're working with Jolene. If you want any suggestion anyone has,
Mhm.
Dave would be gladly.
We have when we have our Thursday lunches at the church, that, there's a donation box there and there.
Yeah.
It adds up. It's just
Mhm.
thank you
Exactly.
for it.
Yeah. And will this amount then come from the account for council initiatives then? John?
Every direction you take it from.
Okay.
Do we have money in council and initiatives that we could cover that amount?
No, we don't.
We always can.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's be easy to take it out of the mayor's pay today, but that wouldn't be appropriate.
Do I hear it correct that it's just for this 1 year?
Yeah, I think that's the only, I mean, we need
Then
to
you
just,
gotta remember, budget meeting starting shortly, then we
Yeah.
need to consider out, see where we're at, so, okay? So.
yeah, I
remember
think
that
that's
then, okay?
appropriate.
Yeah,
That's fine, as long as then we can.
if we
tell the
need to,
people
we
that.
can include it further going ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you can go on into the budget, you can put a line somewhere, then as long as we're all understand where we're on that same page. I think. Wayne?
Forward.
Yes.
Want to read
Yeah.
out what you
Oh,
got?
yeah.
I'll read what I've added to this resolution. Say Councillor Calvert and Councillor Peacock moved and seconded it. It says, and that the 2025 event be funded up to $2,000, inclusive of the amount of Christmas Cheer Compassionate Fund from the Council Initiatives Account 1170.
Okay, clear? All those in favor of the motion? Very scary.
Counselor Campoff,
But
seconded, but it doesn't matter.
He started.
Oh, on there.
Same page.
He started.
We've signed it that time.
You guys already signed it, so.
Finding time I did, yeah.
Okay. All right, moving on, climate change, action items. What's your wish on that one? You want to support that? Is there anything you want to do with that?
No.
All right, public safety requirements to protect our community. What's your wish? Information only, or you want to take action? None? Dairy Community Infrastructure Fund. Again, action or information? Would you like to speak to it, Wayne?
Yeah, I think this is something to support. That's money we get for our infrastructure. So having it, the envelope increased would be helpful to us.
Okay. So, Jewish Council, we're gonna support that according to your request.
Sure.
Okay. So we'll support that one. Okay, provincial decision, automated speed enforcement. What you wish? Information only, you're
Tried that.
fighting Doug Ford.
Tried that speed thing to sign you down, right?
But they're talking about, these are the ones that they give out
Camera.
fines to automatically. And I guess they're,
Hmm.
the biggest thing is they were giving, you know, if you're going 2 kilometers over the thing, you're getting a fine.
That could pay for the Christmas tea.
There we go.
There's a good point.
I would pay for the Christmas tea alone.
On your,
All
I
right,
think that was the
so
biggest,
just for
biggest,
information.
yeah, the biggest thing with this stuff, they were finding, like I say, people going 2 kilometers over, something like that.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
It's it's an issue that is a little more complicated than just that, but it's a decision the province has made that doesn't really affect us because we haven't had any speed cameras, so.
Think we qualify.
No,
And besides that, I don't think we can even put them on the highways. We can only put them on our own roads. So, and our concern has been always through Kakabeka. That's the main
Yeah.
concern. Well, mind you, having said that, we have had some issues in Roslyn. So go ahead, Wayne.
Just wanted to comment that at the meeting we had with the MTO persons back in early September, they told us flat out, you can't have automated speed enforcement on the 1117 or any other provincial highway.
no, because that's their new thing. They. I think it's just,
Support their own Christmas tea.
yeah, that's right.
All right, then the next, the Emerald Ash Borer infestation. That's an action issue. You our information. Where do you want to go with that?
Do we have an issue with emerald ash borer up here?
Not as far as I know. Do you have heard anything about that, Bernie, at all through the agriculture side?
No, so we've advocated at Roma several times now in opposition to some of the regulation that the province has put down because it was very restrictive for any harvesting of black ash in this area, but the reason we were against it was because, it's not the same issue here as it is elsewhere.
Thank you, Wayne. I thought so, yeah.
Didn't they take us out of that part of it? I think.
Wayne?
Municipality is not covered by this Emerald Ash Borer recovery plan. The city of Thunder Bay is.
Yeah.
They have been, they have infestation of Emerald Ash Borer in certain places. They've removed ash trees, etc. But in all of the Papoonge and the surrounding municipalities, they're, according to the latest information I heard, Emerald Ash Borer is not migrated here.
Okay. Thank you. All right, then moving on. We now have petition and communications for information only. The NOMA media statement on cap paper. I guess they have some financial support for that now. I don't know where it's going to end up because now we have Ear Falls and we have a whole number of them. I don't know where that'll end up. So anyone want to make a comment on that? And again, that same thing with NOMA's statement. And the healthcare. For information for the Kenora. And the one project, one process, mine development from NOMA information. And then the LRCA final budget. Anything you'd like to add to that? We've seen the budget, we've seen the numbers, anything at all? Councilor Calvert,
No, that's pretty much what it is.
Wayne, anything?
I just wanted to comment that on page 129, you can see that our levy will be going up $2,964, 4.6%. But our total for 2026 will be 67,363. So the LRCA is not a big budget burden for us.
Okay? No, all right, moving on. Update from the district social board for information, clean water information only, and the leadership series for information, and the message from Chief Darcy Fleury for information. Anything discussion on any of those items or any clarification? Hearing none. New business.
Save the date.
Well, wait a minute, Jay, yes, sorry, thank you, I got it written here. All right, the new business that was on the desk is that save the date for workshops for counselors. What you wish, there's 3 of them. Flip over the pages, it tells you it's all virtual. It's November the 6th, November the 13th, and November the 20th. And I guess they like to know who's interested and who will be attending that. Wait,
Yeah, they didn't ask for anyone to be registered through the municipal office. That's not how I understand it. It's up to council members, it's just for your information. If you're at home and you'd like to sign into the virtual event, you can do that. That's how I understand it.
okay,
And I just brought it to council's attention because the first session's on November 6th. That's before the next meeting. So.
that's why it had to come here, yes. All right, so we'll leave it with you, go ahead.
And I did check the registration form and they just need an email address and nothing,
No.
you know, your name and email address.
So
So-
we'll leave it with each and then individual counselor decide if you want to partake, then you will look after that yourselves.
And 3 more future sessions as it notes on the second page there. So there's more training to come. So,
All right?
yep.
Okay, and we'll move on to new business. Counselor Campo.
I was approached by somebody who is a little bit concerned about how we are going to be giving out the new landfill cards, and they were questioning whether someone would be allowed to pick up the cards for their neighbors or for family members. There's a way to do that.
Through the chair, as mentioned earlier, we have a master list. So if someone chooses to send ID with an address from the same house, we will compensate that, but they will be signing for them so that we do not get duplication.
So it is available to do it that way, just to make sure that whoever you're picking it up for signs off and say, I authorize you to pick up my cards,
Yeah,
right?
through the chair, the ID attached to the ID that's presented has to coincide with the
Yes.
ID or the land description of the property they're getting.
Yep.
And they will sign for it.
So, remind me, because I haven't seen, I don't recall seeing the actual list. What is our plan? How often or how many days are we going to be handing these things out?
So through the chair for Monday to Friday, starting November the 3rd, which is next Monday, available 8:30 to 4:30 here at the office, 1 person, 1 list. For 3 days at the end of November and 3 days at the end of November, extended hours, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at Roslyn Hall. And the first week of December, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at Murillo Hall.
Okay, further questions?
Yeah, there was one other, I'll talk to Chris. There was a light out. I don't think I can't remember the address, but the street light. I think it was Rosin at Pennock. Dealt with. Okay, thank you. Other than that, that's
Thank you. Counselor Calvert?
Yeah, I just noticed that I guess next week, the crossing will be closed here on Vibrant Road for
Yes.
do the intersection. Yeah. Mention that.
Yeah, I see the signs up there this morning.
Yeah,
Anything more?
no, that's it then. Good.
Counselor Peacock?
Thank you. Just a few questions. The fire department had an RFP out for radios. Did we get radios? Or,
I have to speak with Brent to where that is. I haven't had a chance to talk to him, but there was an RFP out and I think it was awarded at the last meeting.
no, no.
No?
Closed
Okay.
after the last meeting.
Okay, so I have to follow up with Brent on where it was.
Okay. I just didn't know if it was going to be a carryover for next year. As well, the fridge from Roslyn that we had budgeted for? Or is it this year?
Done.
Oh, done. Okay, perfect. Is there an opportunity to provide people who go to the landfill site with just a notice to let them know that they have to pick up their cards, or is there a notice at the library?
There's notices posted on the boards or posted on the side walls of the landfill site
Perfect.
as of I think yesterday.
Okay.
Laminated, just like the rest of our messaging that goes out there year round.
Mhm. And with regard to the designated truck route, does our bylaw enforcement officer have the ability to fine people if there's trucks on our municipal roads? I know the city has bylaw enforcement officers that's their,
Through the chair, it's tough to manage through bylaw since it is complaint driven bylaw. The street signs themselves are enforced under the Highway Traffic Act. So yes, the police have the power to enforce overweight, speeding, the regular stuff on our municipal roadways. Bylaw becomes a challenge because you need that piece of paper that the person's complaining or actually get caught in the act.
and I just wanted to acknowledge the administration, landfill, library, just the staff for keeping the places looking decorated for the seasons, whether it be Halloween as we see or the other seasons. Yep. Good spirit. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I only have one thing, and that came up at the fire committee meeting. The captain was coming out of the fire station for a call, and the traffic, he couldn't get on. Finally, he just said, "I'm going on," and the guy had to jam on the brakes because he had to get going. And so my question is, I don't know where we go with this, but could we get flashing lights for the discussion, also for the ambulance, because the ambulance comes onto that highway, and if they could have some kind of a system, or you see those flashing traffic lights that where you have walkways, if that's possible, if the committee that's looking at this, I don't know if that's a group, but that's a real concern, folks, because that fire truck has to go. If there's life involved, you gotta go. So you want to further on
Yeah,
that?
if I can comment on it, so I've had two concerns brought up with respect to delays at Kekabeka. I have sent an email out to all the members asking that they let me know when there's actual issues. The comment was kind of a broad comment, both of them. There's lots of trucks and we can't get out, and for us to do something, we need to have concrete information as to what the actual issues are and what the solutions to those issues are. So I have sent an email out to everybody saying, let me know if there's a delay. Theoretically, it shouldn't be limited to Kekabeka. We got a crossing here at Twin City at Highway 130, and we do have trucks entering on all of our crossroads on the highway. So it's more than just an isolated case in Kekabeka. So that's being worked on. When I did talk to the captain after, the issues he had were not as clear as just big trucks aren't stopping. There was actually other instances of passenger vehicles. One, the truck couldn't stop. They came up to the intersection, and knowing Kekabeka, the truck was at like the Moose. Well, the truck just physically can't get stopped in time. So we have to understand what the problem is, what the frequency is, and then what the best solution is for dealing with that. So we are working on it. I'm pulling dash cam off of trucks so that we can actually see what the issue is and how we're gonna go about it. So.
Okay, thanks for your help and input. All right, staff, any new business you want to bring forward?
I was just gonna bring up the thing that you brought up, that we are working on it, so.
Wayne, anything? All right, then we will move to resolve to a closed session. All those in favor? All right, take 5 minutes.
Third hour.
that interchange and all that, but just need to get my head wrapped around the actual access points. And even though it's all very,
Make sure that you're talking to your mic. and
All right, okay, we reconvene the council meeting from the closed session, the time being 10:52. So we got the minutes.
Good, ask the question.
Yeah, all those in favor of going back to the original council meeting? Approved, yes. All right, the minutes. That the minutes of closed session meeting held on October 14th, 25% of the closed session meeting earlier on this date in October be approved. All those in favor? Yeah. All right, confirmation of meeting. Following the bylaw introduced and read with that, the bylaw confirmed the proceeding of council meeting held on October 29th, 25 be approved. And that's the mayor and the clerk be authorized to fix the signature to said bylaw 88/2025. All those in favor? Declare the council meeting adjourned.
Wait, gotta do a resolution business. Turn the page.
There's one more there. Sorry, folks, I didn't look at the last page. And we need a resolution to move that the council meeting held at be adjourned, the hour being at 10:53. All those in favor? Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.